Back to our channel. This is Cloud Institution. So today in this session, we are going to see one of the very interesting topic on Azure, which is Azure Resource Group. Okay. So in this video, we're going to see that so what is Azure Resource Group and why are we using Azure Resource Group for what purpose, and what are the different places we have to use Azure Resource Groups, and what is the main purpose we are using for different projects. Okay, so if you can see the hierarchy of Azure Resource Group, right? So in Azure we have a hierarchy that so we have management groups and we have subscriptions and we have resource groups under which we have resources. Okay, so first of all, let's see what is Azure Resource Groups, and I'm going to explain it to you that what is hierarchy of resource group and why we need to use resource group. Okay, so first of all, what is resource group? Resource group is a container that holds related resources for Azure solutions. Okay, the resource groups can include all the resources for the solution. Okay, so what do you mean by this one is that, for example, if you can go back and if you can open that notepad. So let's say, for example, we have a Azure subscription. Okay, so for example, we have two subscriptions. Okay, this is one subscription and this is two subscription. Okay, so subscription is nothing but the costing model. So for example, this is subscription 1 and this is subscription 2. Okay, so what do you mean by subscription is that so we can divide the costing methodology, the costing costing method or costing scenarios for different teams. For example, if two teams we wanted to use the same Azure account, we have to divide the two different subscription. Okay, I'm going to show you what subscription, how the subscription looks like. Okay, so now we have a subscription. Okay, for example, I have a subscription 1 and this has been used by my team. Okay, the team 1. Okay, so team 1 is having maybe four different applications to be running. Okay, so four different applications or four different clients. Okay, so we have four different clients. So for example, this is the client 1 and client 2, client 3 and client 4. Okay, so the four different clients will be having a different project. Okay, so this is for client 1. Okay, so client 1 and client 2 and client 3 and client 4. Okay, so what happens is that in this case, so the team 1 will be having a different clients. All the different clients will be having a similar set of the similar set of resources, but it has been divided into different teams, right? Like because all the clients will be having a different teams and different the purposes of the applications. So now the client 1 will be having the okay, so the resource group, which means that all the resource group, all the resources whatever this client 1 wanted to deploy, it will be deployed under the resource group 1. Okay, for example, I'm just giving rg1. Okay, the client 2 will be having the resource group of rg2. Okay, so likewise rg3 and rg4, so it's group 4. So what happens is that whenever you're deploying some of your applications, all your applications, all your resources, for example, I want to create a 10 VMs. Okay, all the 10 VMs, no, all the 10 VMs will be deployed under this resource group 1 for the client 1. Okay, which means that it doesn't interfere with any other resources. Okay, so this resource group will be isolated, right? So you won't be able to connect from one resource group to another resource group, like unless we do some kind of a connectivities from so VPC peering, I mean VNet peering, all this stuff. Okay, so we have resource group 2. Similarly, we'll be provisioning resource groups under the resource group 2 for client 2. Okay, so the same way we'll be having the resources will be deployed under RG3 and client 4 as well. Okay, so now the major thing which we want to discuss is that so why we need to have kind of a different resource groups. Okay, so different resource group will be able to isolate your applications under the same subscription. Okay, so all the billings, whatever the resource, all the four clients will be producing, that will go to subscription one. Okay, similarly, we can just make it here. If you want to have some kind of a different, the different clients with the different applications, so all the applications will be isolated, and the resource group under which will be holds the different kinds of resources. Okay, so this is as simple as that. Now let's go back to the demo. Okay, so now we already have a two resources. Okay, so one is resource group cloud institution resource group, and which has been created by Terraform in the last session, right? So now what are we going to do is that we are going to create a resource group. Okay, so click on here and create resource. As I mentioned with you, like what is subscription? The subscription is the costing model or costing method. Okay, so you can create multiple subscriptions, whereas as I mentioned like this one here. Okay, so subscription one will be having no, similar set of costing model. Okay, so all the resources whatever we are consuming here, okay, it will be built to the subscription. Okay, if you want to show you that what is my subscription is all about, if you go back to subscription here, so this icon, you can see here, so this is my subscription, but how much is the cost which I have to pay? Okay, this is still loading. So see, 57 rupees I have to pay for the subscription for this month. Okay, so similarly, if you want to create a new subscription, you can just click on add and you can create multiple subscriptions. Okay, so it'll be keep loading and you can create multiple subscriptions. Okay, so you probably have to use the pay as you go, and if you select offer, it will open in a new browser, and then you have to give your email ID and then the password, and so you have to give your debit card and all these things, and it will give you a uh, subscription models. Okay, so it'll create new subscription for your purpose. So now I have subscription, right? I have subscription over here. Under subscription, as you can see here. Okay, so as you can see here, there are so there are this different costing models. All these things will be here. Okay, now let's go back and let's create a resource group. Okay, so what is resource group here? Resource group is nothing but, okay, collection of resources that is grouped together as a container. Okay, so if you can think about in the real time, you're going to create a new folder. Okay, so in the Windows or Linux, if you can think about it, so you're going to create a new folder under which you're going to have all your resources. Okay, for example, I already have one resource. Okay, resource group, and under which I have only one VNet. Okay, so all the resource whatever I want to deploy. Okay, if you can see here under this VNet, I might be having only one subnet here. Okay, I'll be having one subnet here, right? So similarly, I wanted to create a new resource group. Okay, the resource group will be cloud institution. Okay, or G2, sorry, or G2. Okay, so now this is depends upon you that which in which region you wanted to create a resource group. Okay, so for now I'm going to create a resource group in US East. US East, that's fine. So it doesn't matter for me. So I'm going to uh, review and create. Okay, so next, if you want to add some tags for this one, you can just create some tags. Okay, okay, but that is not mandatory. Next, review and create. Okay, so the validation is passed. Now I wanted to create the resource group. Okay, so look here. Okay, so we have already created a resource group. Okay, so this is the resource group, right? So for now, if you want to create any kind of resources, okay, so for example, private IPs or disks or anything, so for example, I'll be creating a small disk kind of a thing, right? Like if you want to create a kind of a disks, Azure disks, something like that. Okay, so disk access, all these things, you have to create it under this resource. So if you, for example, if you want to create a VMs, okay, so for example, I'm not going to create a VM, but I'm going to show you that what is virtual. And if you want to create any simple virtual machine, the first that is going to be asking is that, okay, so what is subscription and under which resource group you want to create this VM. So now I have a multiple, I have only one subscription here, okay, and I have a different types of resource groups. Okay, so that can be used to provision resources for your different purposes. Okay, it can be for your clients, or it can be for your different teams, all this stuff, right? So so now you can create a resource groups, I mean you can create a resources under this resource group. Okay, so if you can follow this one, you should be able to create the resources, and after that, if you can go back, and see the resources, something like this, you should be able to see the VNet something like this, and what I've created. Okay, so that's all about the resource groups. Okay, in the next session we are going to see how to create a different resources, based on different requirements. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. And so if you're not followed this follow our channel, please subscribe to our channel. We will be posting a lot of technical videos in the future. Okay, thank you so much again.